Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Burnt Pancakes podcast. I am your host, Katie Fensky, and today we are finishing a momversation that we started last week. This is part 2 of the momversation with Laura Hernandez, mom of 10, who is sharing her systems on how she goes from a house of chaos to a house of calm. I'm sure we could all use her tips. Today, we're going to be talking about feeding kids, snacks, meal prepping, and how to make that run smoothly. I know this is an area I really need help with. She's also going to share some tips on how to find me time in the midst of crazy motherhood. So stay tuned for this conversation. Okay, so I'm getting my schedule this summer. We're going to do it. Do you have any systems for like meals?
Yes.
What do you have for that?
I do. And so in summertime, I think that it's, you're feeding them 100 more times a day.
I'm
100.
already thinking about that. I'm like, wait, so I have to make them lunch at home instead of just sending them with lunch. And they're going to want snacks all day long. Like, yeah, what do I do?
Mhm. Yeah. So when I'm helping mamas with this, I always want to figure out first what's most important to you. Because again, what's most important to you may not be what's most important to me. I'm like, I want quick and easy, and I love a good granola bar from Costco. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
great. Have as many as you want all day long. Or other people are like, the junk in there, the preservatives, all the things, right?
Right.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. But just knowing where you
What's
stand
right
in
for
that
you?
is huge.
That's a
Like
great
just that's
idea.
like a big step, right? Just getting that
Mhm.
down. And so we do that. Then we
So
kind of
that's
fast forward.
available whenever you're hungry, go get one.
Yes.
Don't need
Having
to
easy
ask me.
snacks. Yeah. We
Okay.
have a list of snacks on our fridge of like in the morning, you can choose any of these snacks. Go for it. So there's no like just that constant asking and me having to like, what do we have? Like, I don't, it
Yes.
takes me away from whatever task I'm doing. And I have to like reframe everything in my brain to then think, what snacks can you have right now? And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, let's just get rid of that. Let's create a list that they can read. They know what's available. They know what bin
Where
the
to get
snacks are in
it.
the
Mm-hmm.
pantry. They know where it is in the fridge. We've just made it super clear. And so there may be questions at the very beginning, but if you just keep pointing back to the chart or just say, go look in the bin, go look in the bin, they'll get
Mm.
it, figure it out, right? Um, so having those set things, and I think the same for breakfast and for lunch. If we can have set things in our home, we're a cereal oatmeal kind of family. And so they get to choose cereal or oatmeal. I'm not making eggs and bacon and pancakes every morning,
Like
right?
a Belgian waffle with strawberries and whipped cream.
Wouldn't that be so nice? Yeah, not happening here. Like that's a real special occasion and nobody's knowing
Yes.
about it just in
Yes.
case it falls through the cracks. So like just having that set of like, hey, this is what's always available to you. You pick one and they
Mm-hmm.
can pick, for the most part, they can do it themselves. I feel really great about that. I'm not concerned about breakfast sitting down as a family. Like if that's what is important to you, like, yes, go for it. Having protein in the morning, yes, go for it. I don't care. So that's not what we're doing. And that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to lunchtime. I think that having, again, those set things, and I love the idea of kind of a weekly rotation. So on Mondays, we're having turkey sandwiches, fruit, and crackers. On Tuesday, we're doing PB&Js. On Wednesday, we're doing hot dogs and vegetables and whatever. Like just having
Mm-hmm.
those set things will help lessen your decision fatigue as a mama.
Right. So you're not going, do you want a peanut butter? Do you want a ham and cheese? Wait, who wanted the quesadilla? Yeah.
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 Quesadillas are on Thursday, that's when you're getting your quesadilla. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want ham and cheese? That's on Monday. And we're doing that then. Right. You just have that schedule and they know that, hey, it's coming. We'll have that eventually. It's not like you're saying no forever, but
Right.
today, this is what we're having. And we have some very picky eaters, sensory,
Mm-hmm.
all
Yeah.
the lovely stuff. And so if they don't care for what's being made by me, they can figure it out on their own and they know they can always go get a hot dog or they can make their own peanut butter sandwich. So those are their two options that we have for
If you don't want what's on the
don't want
menu.
what I'm making. Yeah. But I'm not having to make 50 different things because I'm not a short order cook. That's not my
Right.
responsibility.
Right.
I'm providing this healthy lunch for you, and this is what you're going to eat. If you don't want to eat it, then you
Yeah.
can figure it out on your own. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a big piece of this is just creating those decisions ahead of time so that you're not doing that in the moment. And you're not having those arguments or those discussions because a lot of them don't even need to be had because you've already made the decision,
Yeah. Yeah. We're not doing that today. Yeah.
Not today.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And so for
Oh,
dinner
go ahead.
time, oh, sorry. For
No,
dinner time, I
dinner
kind of
time.
do the same thing, but instead of having like a set, like we're doing ham and cheese or whatever, we have more of a theme menu for dinner time. And so on Monday for us, it's a crock pot meal. On Tuesday for us, it's Taco Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's breakfast. Like we have these set groups or genres of food that we go to. And that is so great because it also lessens decision fatigue, but it also allows for some creativity in there, and just some variety. And so on Taco Tuesday, it's not always like the hard shell ground beef. It's rarely that actually. It's more like fajitas or chicken quesadillas or taco salad. I have a list of things that I'm like, I can easily go to and make any of
Hmm.
these things on a dime. And
And there's always something in that they will eat. Like my kids
yes,
don't necessarily love a taco rolled up, but they like the meat and the cheese and the beans. Like I'll separate it. So I'm like, great, I can have my taco. You can have your deconstructed taco. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's so brilliant that you just said that. I realize it doesn't seem that brilliant, but I think a lot often as moms, we're like trying to cater to everybody. And we know that this kid will only eat meat and you can't have any sauce on it. And like, I have a bunch of
Hmm.
those people that are just very
Yes.
strange about their desires of
Hmm.
eating. And so knowing those things about my kids helps me then plan a meal where I can say like, hey, we're having grilled chicken and a sauce on top of it and pasta or whatever. But I know that he will only eat plain pasta and I know he'll only eat the grilled chicken. He won't eat the sauce. So
Yes.
creating this meal that we all can eat, but then having pieces of it that we can kind of separate out or do what like how we can cater to that in our family meal, you know?
Right. Yeah. Okay. With a family of 10, do you have like the most organized shopping list? Like, what does your shopping list look like?
Well, we need to talk about that because I heard you say that you're still going to the store.
I do. We use an app where we like put the groceries that we want to get, but half the time it's like, I forgot to check the fridge. Are we out of apple? I'm not great at doing that ahead of time. So give me some shopping tips.
Well, I would love to introduce you to this app called eMeals.
E-meals. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I'm writing it down right now. Okay, tell me.
Kind of like an email, but eMeals.
Okay.
And I've fallen in love with it. I don't know who the lady is who created this, but I want to kiss her all the time. I'm obsessed with this app because it's so brilliant. And I don't know why we didn't think this a long time ago. Okay. So you go in, create your account, say, I want 30-minute meals. And every week it'll give you like six new 30-minute meals that you can choose from. And so then you say, okay, I think my kids will like that, that, and that. Right. So I've picked four meals that I'm like, oh, they'll probably like it.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, of my picking those meals, all of the ingredients are automatically uploaded to my Walmart app.
What?
I know. So
Wow.
within a matter of 10 minutes, I can plan out our week of meals and grocery shop. And it's all like right there, all
Oh
on
my
my phone.
gosh, mind blown. Do you actually go to the store or have you done delivery?
Oh,
I don't
delivery.
I don't think I've utilized the delivery enough. During COVID, I tried it, but I still like actually go to the grocery stores. So you do all of it delivery.
Yes.
Mm.
And I know,
Is it a
like,
game
I feel like
changer?
people's reactions are often like, well, I don't want to pay for the driver tip or I don't want to pay for the delivery fee. And so we do the Walmart, like we're cheap. And so buying groceries on a budget is more important to us than eating organic or whatever. So
You look at
we
what's
can't cut
important
the
to
whole,
your family. Yeah, like
yeah,
for
we
you,
can't cut the
that
whole food.
works.
So Walmart it is for us. So we pay for the whole year of free delivery and it's changed my life.
Ah, it just frees
It
up
really
that
has.
time.
It
Because I would
really
say a
has.
major stressor is taking my children to the grocery store. They just like some kids I see staying by their mom, like super calm. Mine are like go, go, go every second of the day. So when we're standing in line, they cannot be still. They have to be checking out, looking at this. What is this, mom? What is that? And yeah, that's a major stressor. So if I don't, I will try that. I will try the grocery delivery.
Yeah, and getting them in the car and out of the car, buckling them back in, and like all of that is just
Unloading.
eliminated. And I hear the produce thing, but for the most part, like there's been a few times where the avocados have been really hard. And I was expecting to eat avocado that night, where it's like,
Yes.
oh, that's a bummer. But you know what? I didn't just spend 2 hours trying to go to the store, spending extra money that we don't need to spend on things that we don't need because they
Mhm.
just looked lovely at the time, right? So
Yeah.
I'm saving
Or
money. I'm
mom, can I
saving
get this?
time.
Can I get that? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that
I mean,
wasn't on my
it's
list,
so
but
worth it. So
yes.
just
Okay.
weighing those pros and cons of like, unless it really brings you life to go to the store and like create your
And some people,
meals.
I imagine when all my kids are in school and I've got hours in the day, grocery shopping by myself would not be a bad thing. Like that
That
sounds
sounds
pleasant,
lovely.
but for now, not so much.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear how that goes too. I
Yes.
need an
Okay. So we
update
have
on.
our, what? Say that again.
I'm gonna need an update on all
Okay.
these things.
Yes. See how my kids are eating. All right. So we have our house cleaned. Kids are fed. Any other systems that I should start looking at in my house?
My question to you would be, are you taking care of yourself?
More so now that my youngest is a little bit older. I would say like since he turned 3, I feel like I am making a little more time for myself, a little bit more. But it has taken me a while to like realize I needed that and actually find ways to do it. So, what are some tips on that?
Yeah, I love talking about self-care because I think as moms, we often get pushed to the back burner. And
Mhm.
we also often think that self-care looks like getting a pedicure and a manicure or a facial, right? So
Right.
we're kind of idealizing this very expensive, time-consuming situation. And
Which
really
sounds
within,
lovely, but it also that thought of that is like, well, I don't have time for that. And I like have all these things on my to-do list. Yeah, it's not as realistic anymore.
yes, absolutely. And so finding things that do bring you life throughout the day, for me, I've learned that having my morning time is like essential to my well-being. I don't show up as a good mom if I haven't had that time to wake up before the kids wake up. And so I hate waking up early, but waking up at 5:30 is now my self-care. Even
Mm,
like that sounds really
yes.
contradictory, but
I think
waking up
all
at
of
that
us
time,
moms will get it now. Like, okay, yes, I do need a minute to myself. Yes.
yes. And
What
so
is it? So
creating that
what's your
space.
morning routine look like? Because I know a lot of people have different. What's your routine? What do? You get up at
Yeah.
5:30.
I do wake up at 5:30. So kids need to be up at 6:30
Okay.
and be on the bus at 6:45, like that first round of kids that head out. So
Yeah.
kind of staggered in the morning, but I know that they need to be up at 6:30, which means I need to be up at 5:30. And
Mhm.
a lot of these little things I've done over time, just by 5 minutes, by 5 minutes, by 5 minutes, waking up a little early. And that's been huge. I mean, it's been huge because I'm able to do the things that I want to do. So I'm a person of faith. And so like reading my Bible and journaling and just spending that time is like essential for my well-being.
Mhm.
But then this year, I'm like, I also want to be a reader and I want to read 8 books by the end of the year. So that's a really good time to put in reading a chapter. And
Mhm.
I'll share that in a minute. But I also like, I want to write letters. I want to encourage people. And so having all of those things right in my morning spot, right there. So right when I sit down, I'm not going and searching for things or like looking for my book or whatever. It's all right there.
Mhm.
That's been huge. That system of having things set up, having a set time, knowing what I'm going to do during that time has made all the difference. So my
You
8 books
almost look
challenge.
forward to waking up now because you're like, this is my hour. Like, no one's going to bug me for an hour or 45 minutes,
Yeah.
whatever time they get up. Oh,
Yeah.
I personally love reading. And I felt like, when the kids are babies, it's so much harder. You have to have your eyes on them all the time. So now with my 3-year-old, I'm like, I know if he's playing in that room, he's okay. And I can just pull out my book and read. What are some of the top books on your list right now that you're reading?
Well, I started out the year with Atomic Habits, which has revolutionized everything I do. And I thought I was planned and organized before, and now I'm like, oh, we're bringing this to a new level. It's amazing. So my goal was to read 8 books for the whole
Okay.
year because I haven't read books in years. Like
Hmm.
I'm like, a part of me is like, I don't even know if I've ever read 8 books in my whole life, which sounds a little ridiculous, but I just discovered I have ADD. And that kind of brings light to all of my childhood of like, oh, well, that makes so much sense. Like, why,
Hmm.
why things are so hard for me. And so all this to say, putting these systems in place to reach those goals. I'm already on book like 13, and we're only
Wow.
in May.
What is it, May? Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
It is awesome. And so I
Yeah.
feel like I'm learning so much and I'm getting to enjoy reading, which is
Hmm.
something I've never been able to do. And it's all because we're like creating that space and putting those systems in place.
Yeah.
So,
And that's where people say, if it's important to you, you will make time for it. Like if I'm important, I can find time. Even if it's like a 5-minute chunk, like you
yeah.
can, you can find time for yourself. Yeah. Oh, this is so awesome. I feel like I have so many pointers. We're on like the verge of summer. I've got 3 weeks before my kids are out, and I've kind of been feeling a little bit of like anxiety. Like, I know I love having my kids home. I want to have fun this summer. But then the other part of me is like, Katie, I know you, and you're going to like go crazy with these kids home. So I love that we have some systems that are going to like, bring some calm to this chaos. I love it. If someone wanted to know more about your offerings and all these tips you have, where can we find you and what do you offer?
Yeah, mamasystems.net is my website. And on there, you can find links to coaching. We do one-on-one coaching. We have a 90-day program that's kind of life-changing. We kind of go through all of your, not we kind of, we go through all the aspects of your life and your home and your systems and your family. And we revolutionize them all to be most effective and most efficient for you and your people. So it's not just like a one system that I'm saying, here, do this. It's really customized to you and your family.
Well, I love that. Like, let's adapt. Like, this is how feeding your kids is important. We can fit a system into that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so fun. That's my favorite thing. But I also have courses and different things like that you can go on and find, and have a ton of freebies and resources for you just to really thrive as a mama. So
that's awesome. Do you have a sample of your chore contract on your website?
yes.
Okay.
So
I'm going to be looking at that. I want to see it.
oh, you mean like a chore chart?
Or like, yeah, like the thing that you share with your kids, like this is your responsibilities, your
I
contract.
can send you one. So when I work with families, I make customized ones for
Got it. Got it.
But I can definitely send you one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whatever it is, you can see it.
We're going to get this summer nice and organized, nice and calm. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, sharing all these things. I feel very inspired to go clean my house now.
Oh, good. Just a little bit at a time.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, but I can definitely start using Laura's systems in my house today. I would love a little bit more calm in this house. And a special thank you to all of you for listening to this podcast. I absolutely love making it. I love chatting with moms. So thank you for joining us. If you did get anything out of this podcast, I would be so grateful if you left me a review, gave me 5 stars, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or come found me on social media. I am on Instagram at Burnt Pancakes with Katie, and I would love to meet up with some of you. So until next week, I want to remind you that everyone burns their first pancake, so just keep living.